in time, but of actualityisms. Can anyone relate to me is the question. Besides that, the breath of nature of Estrella is a story that is a legacy to be told. Of volumes both sacred to depthful odysseal journeys, words are volumes of time, and if words are but words, the time's but time. Look at of what words are spoken by others, and how little time they have. When shadow, this is speaking, it's almost in tongues, yeah, it's in English. When shallow waters becomes deep, that's when cognac, to say coma, but it's like cognac, you know, that word's not even in the dictionary, but it does exist. Concepts occur. The self becomes separated from nature as if departed from body, which is why so many seem so disconnected, and in concept and perception, you can fathom the actual distance they are from their body in many respects. Many really aren't here, but there's a massive difference. Origins do exist, and the legacy in porcelain ruby rivers that expand in vast miles throughout the physical chambers of forgotten life. In angst or in dreams, do the stars still, I don't even know what I was trying to, okay, in angst or in dreams, let's bump the does part, the stars within glisten, where our shadow walks in caverns deep, unexplored, chasms of the mind. Persona isn't one, persona isn't choice. As natural as evolution, how can choice or interest be vacant when eternal eternities exist? Thus, actual self presented in focus. Wish. One of my friends had mentioned he enjoys listening to my lectures, and then I did reflect on what he said. Wish this was a lecture, because then it would already be known. I work on trill depths and levels. Trill is the expression of actual depths. Yes, eternal depths to explore, but what of that being to touch the actual bottom? Of what to become of the being to walk on those floors and explore corridors? Where we stand, is it sand or on the strand of divinity? This is why the government doesn't and can't mess with me. If they were to do anything directly to me, the effects would be devastating to them. I will be calling the White House shortly. Called NASA twice now. It's on YouTube. Almost 200 videos now. Those some are extras, music mixes, music videos. I only count actual discussions, is what I then say. Okay. This is my latest favorite, and this is my comment on it. Estrella's harmony still remembered. I don't just speak. I speak in reference to the living origins of words spoken. If I was only to speak, it would be of games or of superficial themes, none of which interests me. Games at times for metaphorical reasons. And then I say, time to call the House of White. I don't fudge around. And I don't f around. Now, it's a bummer I don't get many views on YouTube. I really don't. I mean, I would almost play a violin piece, because honestly, no one is expressing the content that I'm expressing. I am the only one of my kind on YouTube. The only other one I can think of that relates to me is a bit of NetWriter, Soundless Dawn, Lycia, no doubt. Lycia's up to par. They're the only ones that do celestial and nebula frequency music. I mean, good gosh. They literally have the sound of nebula, okay? I mean, that's glorious. Now, putting aside the annoying third-person perspective, because everyone, has their disagreements, whatever. The class of information I'm sharing, I would like to see more views. I honestly would, but I suppose it's just that genuine of a story. And since those who are watching my videos I understand the gravity of this discussion, as in, my importance, and the actuality of just really, how important, if I am that important, am I, you know. But for those who have been, consistently, keeping up with my videos, thank you, because, these are words that, to me sometimes feel unspoken, though I'm speaking them. But put it this way, if what I say is true about the actuality and everything, everyone's gonna know what's up, and this YouTube channel will be the most historical YouTube channel in the cyber world, pretty much. And I will buy YouTube. In fact, I won't have to buy YouTube. They'll have to pay me to own them, basically, because YouTube's their primary focus is weird. I want to throw a really interesting debunk out there, and also something that's quite comical. All these attempts with commercials, all these attempts with YouTube, I mean, let's just put everything under the sun. Everything under the sun that's basically limited to persons, whether it's the Snickers candy bar or Hollywood. The attempts, yes, are to limit persons and to brainwash persons, essentially. Brainwash to say replacism, to replace self with ridiculous themes, essentially. These persons are thinking this through, and they are partaking in those themes. Now, a lot of the stuff that used to really, shallow persons out isn't working anymore, and to whom it's working to is, persons who are wealthy. There's the comical side of it. They're pushing it to a point where it's not only just, well, I wouldn't say sickening, but good gosh, there's some commercials that are, but anyway. That's the level they're partaking on. They essentially are brainwashing themselves. They are essentially the process is reversed. I'm sure you're now seeing what I'm talking about. Because instead of everyone just going with the flow, just going with stuff, no one is. And commercials are just invitingly, the persons behind the commercials spending all the money, they're invitingly partaking in a world that doesn't even exist anymore. The world of sheeple, those terms, those are entirely dead terms. They're dead. CNN is slowly making the transition. The news stations have no choice. So again, the comedy of this is, yes, you're still seeing the whole little charade going, but guess who's partaking in that charade primarily now? It's on the other side. So now they have to consider, wait a minute, none of this is working, of course, and the economy, I mean, who's going to buy this stuff anyway? And anyone who is, they're able to, and those numbers are growing fewer and fewer. They now have to realize that they're just doing it for themselves now. I mean, really, if you think about this, it's pretty sad. I mean, all the commercials you're seeing, especially stuff with Wendy's, good gosh, they are the worst of fast food commercials. That and Burger King. I mean, Burger King had three Xbox 360 games. I'm not sure if you remember this, but these companies and the persons behind these little plans, how many people can we brainwash today? If you notice, there's a commercial, there's like a dozen new commercials every day. This is the rate of spending. Their little fantasy, their little dealio on trying to, brainwash and replace persons' uniquism, they now have to consider that they're doing it for themselves and that they're the only ones enjoying it now. This is why we have not seen the transition yet. We haven't seen the transition yet because there's these key ironies, I guess you could say, that needed to be realized, which I've conveyed in this message, and I've conveyed in other messages as well, YouTube videos that have not been posted. I have I probably have like 2.5 hours that have not been posted because YouTube will not post it. Now the